Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're listening to the sWo podcast. So all my sneakerheads, what you gonna do when the sneaker world order runs wild on you? Tune in every Wednesday with Ashley Clark, ACS Sneakers, Patrick Townsend, and Blazer Reggie. Enjoy the show, brother.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sneaker World Order podcast. Today we have a very special guest. It's Erkin Hassan, also known as Life of A Broski. So Erkin, if you could introduce yourself, that would be grand, mate.
Yeah, Erkin, as you just said, Life of A Broski, aka Mr. Review Your Sneakers, from the UK, proudly. Gooner as well, if you can see. YouTuber, sneakerheads, not hype beast, gotta get that in. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pat, go ahead.
Yo, so it's Patrick Townsend, Patrick T for real, every branding going. Back again, looking. I'm gassed for this one. I have to admit, man, this is nice. This one's gonna be nice. I can feel it. And he's a gooner like me, so your turn, Aid.
Honestly, I'm like again outnumbered by these Southerners again. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, you know, it's Ada from ACS holding it down for the North as we do. You know, Liverpool fans. You know, hopefully, I'm never going to get into football because I don't want to upset anybody. But you know, enjoy the Conference League, whatever you're in or not in, or you know what I mean. I like you guys, but you know, when there's this much of a gap, you know. It is what it is, but yeah, check me out on YouTube. Just dropped a brand new video as well. What even was it? LeBron 8s. Yeah, it was a LeBron 8 Space Jams quality shoe. And yeah, so follow me on Instagram, ACS Sneakers, YouTube, ACS Sneakers. That's it.
Awesome. So basically, what we do every week, hopefully, Erkin, you've been watching. We're gonna do our sponsored content right now, which is the shoe stack. What's on feet today? So sponsored from Shoe Stack. Get their boxes. This is my wear today. I had the human-made NMDs. So Pharrell Williams kind of thing, obviously wearing Adidas all the time. But yeah, so that's my on feet today. So Erkin, if you'd like to show us what you had on feet today for the Shoe Stack sponsorship.
Well, I've got the Asuna slides, Nike.
Ooh.
Amazing. This is so comfortable, honestly. I'll just wear them for the sake of it. Got an adjustable strap there underneath.
How big are they? Because I mean, when I saw the pictures, they looked massive.
Amazing. Oh, sorry about that phone call. But yeah, the Nike Asuna slides, my go-to slide for home.
Aiden's digging to China for his look.
Yeah, because to be honest, I was gonna go with these because I wore these around the office, my Dunk by Use. But then I'm like, you know, if we're bringing out slides, we're back again.
You know what this is?
Gonna make it a thing, you know. These are sick. Most comfortable piece of footwear I've ever owned in my life, and
you keep on pushing these, man.
Honestly,
He's a Space Jam fan now. That's it.
Listen, it's Crocs, man. I want to get an endorsement deal with them. You know what I mean? Knee-high socks. Nice little.
Oh my God.
I'll do the old man vibe. I'm down for that. So if you sponsor me.
All right. So I just done a review on these, but I thought I'd pull them out. So this is the Air Max 90s, just what they call them? First used. Cell blue. They're nice. Do you know what it is? Yeah, like Air Max 90s were the ones, weren't they? But I think now that they've got the technologies where everything's softer, like the Boost, whatever else, these don't feel like they've got the bounce what they used to have when you was younger. Have you noticed that?
It's because you're heavier, mate.
Yeah. You know what? You got a point there. But yeah, Nike MX90s, first use, cell blue. That's it.
They come with that Offspring box.
I didn't get these for spring. Don't even try it.
It's in that box, mate.
No, they came, it was from Size. Sent it in a plastic bag. That's it. It was abused. If I didn't open the door, I swear the courier would have just thrown it at me. I swear. It's horrible, man. Box was mash. Wasn't happy.
Rude, I think, was the word you used in the review. Rude.
I was being polite, innit?
And I'll take it for him. Hey y'all, Blazer Reggie in the building. King of New Balance, Prince of New Balance, all y'all.
I don't think he's gonna be happy with that.
He's gonna kill you, man. He's gonna kill you.
I got some New Balance. The 18th pair I got.
Honestly, man, I weren't happy with that Skepta thing you guys did me with shit.
Well, no, it's not Skepta anymore, is it? It's Space Jam Crocs. Every week.
Space Jam Crocs, that'll be a lot easier, won't it? You know what I mean? Them Skeptas were killing me towards the end. Crippling. But anyway, so who's kicking us off?
Aiden, it's you, mate.
You, bro.
All right, cool. So I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room before we get into it. All like the normal stuff. What are we thinking about these Travis Scott Fragment ones then?
L City, mate.
I can feel it.
I don't know. You know, I feel like of all of us, one of us might have a chance to get them. You know, would you keep them though? That's the question. Would you keep them or would you sell them?
I'd probably just get them in for a review and then get rid of them. I can't see myself. You know what I mean? It's not like, I think it's the black toe. The lack of the black toe it doesn't look good to me, man.
And plus that money, you can like say what you want about resellers, man. If you can make them up sale, you could buy a shoe for 180, whatever price it is. I sell it for $2,000.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. I wouldn't wear it in general because I don't like Jordan 1s. I mean, if it was a Jordan 1 Zoom, I might actually be a little bit tempted to keep it, but I definitely review it, milk it, and then sell it.
Just get the rent paid for a couple months, you know?
See, when they first dropped, when I first saw them, I liked them. But I think now I'm seeing them more and more, I've got bored of them.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Like they haven't grown on me, you know? And well, I think we're all gonna do it. We're all gonna get in and try and get them. And I think like Erkin said, you probably get it, do a review, and then just pass on. Because you're not gonna wear them, are you? I can't see myself wearing them. I can't even think where I'd wear them to. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's one of those ones. I don't know. I think it's one of those. I think it's been hyped more than what it actually is, if you know what I mean. You know.
Yeah. So, I feel like it. I personally, like where I live, I wouldn't feel. I'm like, I'd be looking like a mugger's pension plan with them on my feet. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't wear stuff like that round here. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what it is though.
You guys are all Southerners as well, so like, yeah.
I'm wearing them to work.
What was that?
I'll wear them to work. See how long I last there.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be probably just as bad as the trophy rooms for the release. I think it's gonna be a complete mess. Just a complete mess.
I mean, I saw them. I like this morning. I woke up and I saw on YouTube that they'd already like there were stores in LA were already having them, and you know, and we had nothing. Sneakers App, nothing. And then I think by midday, everyone had them. So you had End, SNS. Everyone, it was everywhere. Not even Nike haven't even put them up yet. Do you know what I mean? I just thought this is gonna be one of those ones where it's just gonna be L's everywhere, innit? It's just for and for no apparent reason. It's not like I see people try and say it's a sneaker of the year. I don't think, for me, it's not sneaker of the year so far. That's my thing. I don't know what you guys think, but
I personally feel like Fragment are just trying to jump on the Travis Scott hype, especially after like Fragment. Like, if you look at Fragment a few years ago, there was definitely a lot more hype on them. like every fragment release is getting less and less and less. I mean, like the last one they did, the dunks. I like the dunks. I saw Erkin's review on them, and obviously I didn't buy them, but you can get them for virtually retail. So I think they're just trying to get back on the hype train and do this with Travis Scott, and then you're probably going to see 2 or 3 more fragment releases before the end of the year to keep that hype going off the back of those ones. I think it's just a money grab, really.
I think that they've had them planned for a while though. Like when you get with someone with Travis Scott who's got such a long line, I'm pretty sure they probably planned these about 8 months ago. You know, these have been in the works for a while. They probably didn't know what was going to happen with the dunks or anything like that. I think they just produce all these shoes. They turn around and they go, right, so this is what's releasing this month, this month, this month, this month. And it just so happens that they had a lot of kind of blowback from everything that happened, you know, last month. And now people are going to see it somewhat of a redemption. But I do think that actually they just thought, oh, well, we've hit a big payload here. And they're probably trying to get it. But personally, I'm not like, I'm going to try for them, obviously. But am I going to be bothered if I don't get them? Probably not. You know, like I've had the off-white Chicago ones. I've had the first lots of Travis Scotts, and I've sold them all now. Like, to be honest, like something can sit in the collectors and just collect dust. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I get if you're a collector. If you're trying to collect the off-whites, the range, what they've been doing, and it will add to it. I get it, but it's just I can't say it's a hype thing because, like I said, when I first saw them, I thought they were quite nice, but they then more and more I've seen them, I've kind of gone off of them. If I'm honest with you, you know, I'm not a Jordan 1 fan like you guys know anyway. So, but it's just one of those things, man. I don't know.
Can't wait to see that
Slip would
video
go
if you
for
do
it.
get them. Oh yeah, I got these. These are amazing. Suddenly
I'm
changed.
gonna end up with about 3 of them, innit?
Yeah.
Every raffle, and then I've got to eat baked beans and toast for the rest of the month or something. Do you know what I mean?
I do like the lows. I think the lows look much better than the highs.
Yes.
Yeah, the lows are nice.
Yes. And I
Have you
don't even
seen-
like those.
I haven't seen nothing over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna. It's like Americans do that though. They'll have all these. Oh yeah, we're gonna have this release, this release, this release. Like I didn't even know we were getting the AJKOs this morning. Where did they pop up from?
Top drop, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just randomly popped up, and I was just like, "What? What happened here?" Like yesterday they weren't on there. Today they're on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, those though. So no sleep lost on them.
I thought they'd be your bag. You like comfort. No, they're just a knit, isn't they?
Yeah, I mean that's a granddad swag. That's terrible, man. I think they're genuinely awful. Like I feel like people just hype up Jordan 1s far too much. Don't get me wrong, I get it. I do get it. Like it's the first one, but like there are much, like in my opinion, like, pretty much every Jordan that followed it was better than it. Besides the 2s, I'm good. 2s are trash, but like the 3s are better, in my opinion. Anyway, the 3s are better. 4s are better than the 1s, 5s, 6s, 7s. I know Pat don't like the 7s, but like in terms of like material and tech and all that stuff, like comfort, everything just gradually got better. But I get why the Jordan 1 is what it is. But it's like the Air Max 1. I don't like the Air Max 1 either. I mean, you guys might feel a little bit different, but like I feel like as the Air Maxes progressed, we got like the 90s, the 95s, the 97s. Gradually, they got better as well. You know, so I get it, but like at the same time, like it's like one of them phases, isn't it? You know, we're going through the dunk phase. We went through the Yeezy phase. We're going through the Jordan 1 phase. Like there'll be something next around the corner. It could be like the Blazer phase next, and then every man and the dog will want to wear Blazers or something. So it's quite fickle, and I really wouldn't be wanting to. I mean, Mr. Unloved Ones, who we did the podcast with a few weeks ago, like respect to him because he's obviously been doing this even when they weren't hype. So he'll keep it going. But like, I personally wouldn't want to build a collection around a shoe that like is so fickle and can change at any point. Because if suddenly it goes back to how it was in 2014 when Jordan 1s were sitting on shelves, then you've invested X amount of money into something that's going to depreciate. So it kind of just comes down to that. Like, but for me in my collection, like if I was wearing the same shoe every day, it would just kind of takes away the whole point. Don't you know what I mean? But imagine wearing the same pair of socks every day, just different colors. It's just a bit like try something a bit different, or you know, the same T-shirt. Like imagine if I had this in green, yellow, white, red, and You're like, man,
You're acting like you don't.
I think I found that when I started my YouTube, and I don't know what it was. I was picking up Jordan 1s like they were anything. They were just, mids and whatever. And it got to the point where after about 3 or 4, I'm like, what more do I say? There's a Jordan 1 bottom. It looks exactly the same as the other ones. That overlays are exactly the same as the other ones. Oh, no, it's the same holes. What more do I say? You just get to the point, I don't know what more to say, and I kind of not gone off of reviewing them, but yeah, I haven't really bothered to try and cop them for the YouTube or anything like that, because unless it's like an off-key color, it's just completely different, and it's something what you don't really see in them, then you got something more to talk about. But if you're just talking black toe box with a red back or black toe box with a white back, you get like that, I mean, what do you think, Erk? I mean, you get them in your hands all the time.
You know what? I think the Last Dance that really changed it for a bit. Like the hype was crazy, but I think they're turning into like the Air Force One almost. Like they're not easy to get, obviously, but it's one of those things that they're just boring now. Unless it's a big hype collab, maybe. Do you know what I mean? It changes a bit. But that's why I've always liked Dunks more than Jordan 1s.
Yeah.
But even the Dunks, they're getting a bit rinsed out as well. But it is what it is, man. I think it's hype that makes the sneaker, but it's people like us that like normal crepes, and then it's like you wear what you like, innit, in the end.
I think it's one of those. I mean, we've had this conversation before in here, like we jump around Chris about hype and other like King of Trainers and things like that. And I think every trainer has a hype, because there's a point where everyone is looking forward to a trainer coming out. But I think the difference you've got now is that you've got social media where people not into trainers but seeing a trend of trainers, so need to get that trainer. They've never, they've probably been wearing bloody, I don't know, sandals all their life, but now it's like, okay, well, Billy's got that trainer and he's shocking, so I need to get them. Do you know what I mean? So is that hype kind of thing? It's a different type of hype now, isn't it? It's not the hype of sneakerheads or people who like to get different, like brand new stuff. It's just it's like an influencer hype.
Yeah, so I'm the opposite. Like when there's too much hype with a trainer, I just don't want to wear them. As much as I might like them, I'm like, do you know what? I can't, because you end up like everyone else. Do you know what I mean?
I get it, and I said it on a previous video. It's funny you mentioned Air Force, because I said that about the Dunks. I said, remember the start of the year when those them Panda Dunks came out, and I said, Pandas. I said Dunks to me are feeling like Air Force Ones. Yes, they're not as readily available, but the stock numbers are increasing, the amount of drops is increasing, and the resale price is dropping. So in 10 years' time, you'll probably see the Air Force One, because Air Force One's consistent, you know what I mean? No matter how many drops there is, you'll always see people wearing Air Force Ones. They're affordable, whatever. But like the Dunk, I'm not a fan of the Dunk personally. It's just even though I wore them today, which is a bit of a weird thing to say. I got these just to try them out. It's not a shoe for me. Like I like mid-top shoes, so it's just not a thing. But like with Jordan 1s, like I kind of see it as very similar to like Beats. Do you remember when Beats first came out and you couldn't go anywhere without seeing Beats?
Yeah.
Every artist in the world had them. Every cool person had a pair. I wanted
a pair. Shocking as well. They were shit headphones.
I definitely wanted a pair when I was in high school.
They were horrible, man.
Like honestly, that's probably what it is. Like I remember seeing the Beats, like there was the thing, and like kids in high school now, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, and they're seeing all these Jordan 1s dropping, and so I get it, but at the same time, like I feel like when it comes to shoes and that, you should try and like I really respect what Erkin does with his channel, because like a lot of the stuff he does is like readily available GR shoes, and like the numbers on your channel stand for themselves, because if people didn't want to see it, you wouldn't have 13,000 subscribers. Massive congratulations on that, by the way. All the thousands and thousands of views you've got. I mean, if you look back at probably your lowest total in viewed videos, I guarantee there's Jordans in there, but your Air Max 1s, your best, like those Geomes or whatever they were called, like the numbers on those videos are crazy, because yes, it's fine to appeal to the sneakerhead community, but we need to realize that like, sneakerhead community is like this amount of people, whereas everybody else who needs shoes is looking at Air Max. I don't know, they're looking at white trainers, looking at tennis trainers, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, so I feel like we kind of like we hone in on it, but like at the same time, like what Erkin does, I respect it, because I really wish I could do that. I'm semi on the hype train, you know. I do go for all the hype releases. I do go for some less hype ones, like, you know, Air Maxes and whatever, but they're just more for reviews for me because I want to, you know, want to try and convince the missus I can keep them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so like, what do you think about, like, obviously from your perspective, obviously you give like pretty diverse like range of things. Like I can see you bringing the Harachis heavy on the channel, and all that. So what do you think about like your positioning and like how you impact other people? Do you think like YouTubers like us, we can impact how people buy shoes?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny you say that because I was speaking to this brand and they referred to me as an influencer, and I was like, man, I hate the term. With so much passion. I didn't correct him, but because I was like, look, if you want to label me that, it's cool. But it's scary how much influence a YouTuber or even people on social media can have on others, whether it's their friends or whatever else. The thing is, for me, I started off YouTube, well, sneaker YouTube by accident. I used to do like fitness videos and that sort of stuff. And then one day, I bought the Air Force, what was it, Flyknits? No, Air Max 720s actually. And I thought, you know what, let me just make a video. And then for some reason, it just popped off. So gradually, I was like, all these GR releases, people are gravitating to them more because they can buy them easy. Whereas you get someone like Seth Fowler, Hez Kicks, all the big names, they're spending 500-600 quid on Jordan 1s early, like a month early, to get those views in. So I was like, I'm not trying to compete. My wallet is not on that level yet. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what can I do differently that people gravitate to it, make it relatable, and also bring in something like affiliate marketing where they can use my links to buy it and stuff like that. So I've always tried to make it different, relatable, and also just trainers I like, man. Trainers I would wear or look into getting. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, you can't knock that, to be honest. Like, I mean, that's definitely the way, like, because obviously I see a lot of these sneaker YouTubers, and I'm not, you know, throwing any shade in the direction, but you can definitely tell, like, in the gaps between the videos that they're doing, it's not just solely based on the fact that, you know, income. It seemingly they go for the hype release, then there's a gap, the drought, there's the inevitable drought to the next hype release, but then you'll see an influx of how to cops, live cops, and all these kind of things. Whereas the consistent YouTubers, and there's a lot of them, like, and a lot of really, really good people that do it just because they enjoy talking about shoes, they enjoy being part of a community. Like, listen, if suddenly tomorrow, like, everybody unsubscribes, I'm still gonna make my video. Please don't unsubscribe, by the way. But if they did,
do it, people.
Yeah, let's frighten him. Do it for a day.
That was like I had a glimpse in my mind of like to one subscriber again. That was dreadful. Don't want to do that again. But like I started off with no subscribers, like we all did, and I put a video out, and it did all right, 500 views. I'm still pretty happy with that first video, whatever. So it's kind of like I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna buy shoes, but I'm not the. But I feel like when you see those droughts from one hype release to another, like I guarantee in the next couple of days there's going to be an influx of things on YouTube that from people you've been like, oh yo, when did I subscribe to him? I haven't seen him for ages, because there's not been a hype release since what, the Amamon years maybe. The Oreos was a little bit meh. What else was released? A lot of the ones have fell flat. You know, a lot of dunks have fell flat. But I do genuinely, no shade on people. If you want to go for hype release, go for hype releases. Do what you want. It's your money. But at the same time, like, you can't, as far as I'm concerned, you can't be a sneakerhead if you only like one shoe. That's a Jordan 1 head, a Jordan 3 head, a 90s head. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you only like one style of shoe and you're not prepared to open up, I mean, on this channel alone, every week we see something different. Like, you know, we always see Ash rocking a different pair of Adidas. We see, you know, Pat coming in with Jordan 1s and other things like an Adidas's. And I mean, Reds could maybe mix it up with less New Balance, but but everybody's got their own style. Do you know what I mean? But so it's like, it's just one of them things. So I really appreciate your position, because I remember when I, you know, finally got around to, you know, stop being a hater and starting watching myself, you know, it really influenced how I decided to do my videos. I took a complete change. Like, I was like, right, when it comes to Britain, we have Soul Supplier, and then we have Erkin. Like, those are the guys that are doing it right now. Because like when I jumped on your channel, I think it was on 9K subs or something like that, which is bloody impressive. Do you know what I mean? Like, bloody impressive, 9,000 subscribers, and like it's only been what, I've only been speaking, we've been a subscriber for what, 6 months, and you're on like 13. Like, that's consistent progress. So like, So you and Soul Supplier for me are on the same level. So do you see yourself going the route of the Soul Supplier, maybe like opening? Is that something you want to do, or?
Do you know what? The Soul Supplier, they're like the granddaddy of, do you know what I mean? Like affiliate marketing. I'd say YouTube, but I don't think their focus is on that. Obviously, it's like Instagram and
They've
stuff.
stopped that now, haven't they? They used to do a lot of YouTube.
George was mad. I remember George back in the day doing the 97, like the silver bullets. I mean, I remember the hype around the silver bullets. Like a girl at work had the silver bullets, and she was like, it was like back in high school, man. Everyone was like, "I want silver bullets." I was like, yes. I was like, yes. Like I really respect what they do, but like, sorry to interrupt. To carry on.
Oh no. I even spoke to George when I was first couple thousand, I think. And he gave me like a few pointers. He was like, "Look, man, if you're trying to do this, make it into sort of like a show thing where, like I said, like make it relatable, do it differently, this and that." That's why I never really wanted to go the route of like a Seth, Soul Supplier, just something unique. Obviously, I'm doing something that's paved, like other people have paved the way, so it's not as new as I would like it, but you just got to bring your personality to it, man. That's when people gravitate to you. Do you know what I mean? You make your really niche cult following, whether you're uploading, I don't know, a video reviewing a chair or something. Like there is people that would watch it because they like who you are. But I don't know, eventually it's a good question, man. Eventually I wanted to make a website as well, but the logistics of that, people want those links quick, those affiliate marketing links quick. So if they got to go to your website and do all that, that's why I like what the Soul Supplier do. They do it swipe up or click view product and then you're straight in. That's why it's so successful, man. But yeah, I think I could bring myself to make a team, but where you're juggling other jobs as well, not doing it like full time, it's harder as well. Do you know what I mean? Working, I've got like a business as well, and on top of that with YouTube. So eventually, man, I could see myself doing it properly full time. How about you, Aidan? What's your plans for your channel?
World dominance. I want to put Fowler out of business. I want to bring Mr. Former Simpson on board and buckets. They're gonna work for me. Nah, you know what I mean? Like for me, honestly, like I respect what you do, and I really enjoy watching you because of like you say, of you. I enjoy like, you know, watching your content. Mine's completely different because I come about mine. I'm a new sneakerhead. I've only been doing it since 2020, and a lot of the questions that I come across when I first started, nobody was answering them. People were like, "Oh, this leather's nice, man. This leather's buttery," and the words are simple to understand, but at the same time, like, what's buttery leather? Does it actually feel smooth? Like as far as I'm concerned, nobody was answering the questions I was looking for, and I had to go in and search myself and learn myself. So the way I do my videos, and people might think they're boring, and that's absolutely fine. And if they do find my videos boring, then obviously I'm not for them. But mine is literally texture, feel, on feet, structure. Is it going to hold up? Is it going to wear well? Is it going to feel good? And like, if people don't want to sit for that, that's absolutely fine. There's 1,000,001 YouTubers out there that are like, this is hype, fire, or, you know, whatever. So like with me, I just want to keep making sure that if you come to my channel, you're going to leave with something. Do you know what I mean? Like when I first started watching sneaker reviews, like obviously George was really good. I really liked what he was doing. He was quite in depth. But I'd often find myself being like, I don't know any more coming out of that than I did the last 10 minutes of watching that video. All I know is that's a cool angle. That's a wicked angle. But what is the shoe? What's the heritage? What's the feel of it like? What's the longevity of it? So for me, if I can get people to come on board and, you know, ACS Sneakers becomes a brand in itself, so we can have like multiple presenters coming through. And like, I really respect what Trainer Heads are doing. I don't know if you guys are locked into Trainer Heads. They've got like 6 or 7 different presenters, and they're still like around like my level of subscribers. Like, so like they're already paving the way for like people that you might not see. Like you'll see Steve come through, then you'll see somebody else on the next video, somebody else on the next video. That's what I'd love to do. As much as I love to be in front of the camera, you know, I'd love to be behind the camera doing the editing and like that. So that's for me, that's the end goal. And plus, obviously, quitting my 9 to 5, definitely putting that out there. So, yeah. What about you, Pat? You see yourself going?
For me, I fell into it by accident. I mean, I've said it before. I mean, I didn't class myself as a sneakerhead. I just like trainers. Do you know what I mean? It's only when people start saying, no, you're a sneakerhead. And I didn't really like that title because I didn't think, I always thought I had friends who had a lot of sneakers. I didn't think I had a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I classed them as sneakerheads. But like I said to you, it's my son. My son just said, look, he was doing YouTube. Dad, just do a video. And my first video is shocking. It's me loving over some Adidas 4Ds because those are the ones I've been wanting for years. When they first come out, I couldn't get hold of them. And yeah, it's just me. And I just described it. And then I had like family, because I think the lockdown kicked in, didn't it? And people were ordering trainers and they weren't the same, what they looked like on a picture. And I think it's a bit like Erkin. I just said, or like you as well, Aiden. I just said, look, let me do a video. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what the box looks like, what you get in the box, how it looks, if it is leather, if it's not leather, you can then go out and buy it. You know what I mean? You know when it's going to come and whatever. And I think it's been like that ever since, or I've tried to make it like that ever since. So I mean, like I said to you, my biggest view is Adidas ZX 2Ks because you can still get them. My biggest comments are still on that trainer. People still saying to me, does it look all right in a size 11? It's mad. Yesterday I had someone go, I've ordered them. And I'm thinking this video is over like 6 months old now. I ordered them yesterday. Do you think they're going to be all right in 11 and a half? Bro, I'm 12. They're cool. Go for it. But do you see what I mean? And what I've realized when I started getting the Jordans, or I've got, we've all had some hype on our channels and whatever. You can't put the link down. You're literally saying to them, yeah, this trainer is so nice, it's beautiful, but you can't get it. And I feel wrong in saying that. You know what I mean? Unless you're saying to them, listen, it's a hype trainer. If you have seen it, you've probably seen it on Insta, whatever. It's resale now. As long as you know that it's resale now. If you're going to spend your money in resale, I can help you, but I can't link you to it. I can't help you where that website is. I can't, And it's funny because I've never thought of affiliated. I've never thought of where my channel's going to go. I've just, to be fair, I just like doing it. And it's a mad thing because I should really, you know what I mean? I've hit over 1,000. To be fair, I was happy with 25. I didn't even think 25 people would watch my video. And I've said it to Blaze, like Reggie as well. Listen, every sub's a blessing. Do you know what I mean? Every sub's a blessing. That means someone's listening to you and take you on. So I don't know what I'd do in mine. I haven't really thought about it. I'd love to be sitting at home, just doing that and have people send me sneakers.
That's my pay,
yeah. Now all these people comment on the ZX 2Ks, I'm getting some money from it. I would love that. But to be fair, I'm lazy in that sense. I need to speak to guys like you and say, right, what do I do? How do I rebrand myself? Is it a branding? Do I go out? Who do I do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Get advice from fellow.
Yeah. See, even like sometimes, we were talking about lighting the other day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, don't even, man. Don't even.
Don't ask Aiden. He doesn't even get the filters for his lighting.
Mate, filters now, yeah. Like, listen, right? Since I got these flipping new lights, the first 3 videos, I was messaging Erkin about it. Like, can you help me with my lighting? He's like, oh no, it's fine. It's not bloody fine. It's overexposed. The last one, the one I dropped tonight, spoiler alert, is bloody dark. It's as dark as this, and it's bloody. Like,
but hey, listen, go back to my video. There's one video I'm trying to review a Yeezy. It's the darkest room ever. I swear you could just about see me. I swear. And I'm like, why did I put that out? But at the time, I was good. I had a little night lamp looking at me. This is the worst setup in the world. But, it's things like that. And I think, I think I'm still at the core of it. If I can help you pick those trainers from JD. I mean, I went in JD the other day and you could see they're just trying to get rid of the stock they couldn't get rid of the other day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. I mean, you're not taking and I'm sure you've added a £5 on this as well. Do you know what I mean? I went in Foot Locker, they had nothing. It's crazy out there. So everything's still online. Everything's still online at the moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's one of those ones. I mean, like I said, I'd probably reach out to you guys at some point and go, right, what do I do now? You know what I mean? I've got these people. I can't just keep on doing. What do I do now? Do I take it any further? What's the best route for me?
There you go. You want a little nugget, right? I'm not a YouTuber. I say that, but this is on YouTube now. Kind of a YouTuber. Hey, celebrity. No. But what I would say, right, this is something I haven't seen. So if one of you 3 takes it, royalties, they're coming my way.
Oh my God.
Are we ready? Right.
Go on.
I was looking for kids' shoes for my daughters and for my son. There is not a YouTuber out there, and I will tell you now, who is only showing kids' sneakers. Why? The biggest selling YouTuber, the richest YouTuber last year was a kid playing with kids' toys, reviewing kids' toys. Was it not? Like one
Yeah.
something billion or something. He got ridiculous amount of money. He's like 13. Why is there not someone who's going, right, so here's an adult shoe, here's a kid shoe.
Right, spoiler alert. I have got a video of a kid's shoe, so you're not getting nothing from me if it does
That's
anything.
20%. 20% right there. But no, you know what I mean? Someone who's solely doing that, who's turning around and saying, right, you could even get your kid. If you've got your kid who's happily in front of a camera, you know there's money there. Just turn around and say, all right, so here's my son, he's 15 years old or something, or here's my daughter, she's like 12 or something. What do you think of this shoe? They can even be on the camera with you. You know, what do you think of this shoe? Oh, it's nice, it's comfortable, I like the colors, and get an honest review from a kid. I never see it. You know, I'm trying to buy my daughter's shoes, I'm trying to buy my son's shoes. Why can't I see anything about it?
Yeah.
Because apparently, they're not allowed to be sneakerheads.
I think the problem I had with myself as well, and I think you see it in some of my videos, if I don't like the kick, it's a hard video. It's a hard video.
Yeah, I hate. You could see the hate in those Dior's that you had, mate.
Bruv, you got to let that go, man. I'm not explaining myself. You know, I'm not explaining myself. But yeah, you know, there's some trainers you get, and you're like, I don't like this. I just don't like them. And I've said it. I've even called out Nike at some points. You know what I mean? But it's one, and I've realised, like, it's like Erkin said, I'm not at levels where I'm spending my money on things I don't want. Do you know what I mean? And am I going to say to someone, yeah, this trainer, I don't like it, but you should go and get it? You know what I mean? And then you realise that at some point your opinion is going to have an effect on someone. You know what I mean? Be it bad. And I don't want to put negative things around. I don't want to be that guy. Everything's, oh my God, everything's so nice. But it's a hard slog trying to review something you don't like.
I'll tell you something. One of my most hated videos were a pair of super reps, I think they were called. They're like a workout.
Yeah, I've got them. I do, with the pixie toe underneath.
Yeah, it's like, it looks like a horse hoof kind of.
Yeah. The hit trainers.
It was like the highs when they first come out. I just got them for the sake of it. I was like, they're on, like, let me just get them, review them. Man, I ripped that trainer to shreds, yeah. It's one of my most viewed videos. I've had to filter the comments where I can only accept their comments, whatever it is, because I was getting ripped. And I was like, I should have thought about this a little bit more before because, like you said, getting it for the sake of it, it takes away from the review.
Yeah.
That was a big learning curve, man.
Yeah.
Big one.
Yeah. I done a review on those. I bought them because I was trying to, like lockdown. I was really slim before. That's all I'm saying, right? So I got these because I thought I've got shit trainers to do. Like, I want to do skipping. You know what I mean? And I saw these, and they're saying they're hit trainers. And I liked them, but they were too tight, so I could never wear them because I didn't realize you have to buy a size up because you can't get your foot in them. You know, the sock, isn't it? The first one. Oh my God! I tried to review these things. And I was like, I had videos of me just screaming because every time I jumped, my toe was burning me, and I thought, right, I can't do no B-roll with me in these kicks no more because, you know. But yeah, no, I saw your one. I saw your one. I could see, and I'm gonna go back to it now and look at the comments.
I've had to delete them, man, because they were brutal. That was like, I think my first or just over my first year doing sneakers on YouTube, and I was like, these bastards, like these lot have no. I was like, bruh, you have to be really thick-skinned to do this, innit? Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
You know what? It's funny, man, because I remember I texted Aid one time. I said, Aid, what do you do when someone comes at you?
Yeah.
And he went, what? Listen, it was like Aid knocked on my door and go, let's go. Where is he? You know, and I just thought to myself, YouTube ain't really like this. Let's be honest about it. Compared to Twitter and some things you get on Insta, YouTube is quite a nice family in a sense. Do you know what I mean? And it threw me. I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I reply to him? Did I tell him to F off? What did I tell him to do? Do you know what I mean?
Join the podcast with him. You're right, mate.
And the worst thing about it wasn't even, he was cussing my intro. He hadn't even seen the video. He was cussing my intro. And I thought, nah, I've got to say something. I can't sleep. I've got to say something. And I think I was replying, like, bro, this ain't Twitter, man. Calm yourself, innit? Do you know what I mean? You know, I never had a response from that. But what do you do when you get people where you just delete them or you respond or?
He froze.
Frozen.
Either he froze or he's pondering very intense.
you broke his camera, Pat.
He's had one come through.
Brilliant. I'm going back at him, and then my obviously my subscribers, I've ripped them. So I'm like, yeah, that's love. You know what I mean? But there are times, I'm not gonna lie, where I've come back at them when I shouldn't have. I just should have just left it.
Yeah.
But listen, man, the more you grow, the more knobheads you're gonna get on there. I'm telling you. It's like celebrities. The moment they just blow up, there's always gonna have like other people always gonna have an opinion. Do you know what I mean? Why is his hair like that? Why is his shirt not ironed? Or why is his intro like you said like that? Like they're always gonna, no matter what.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it is, like you say, it is a learning curve because I can think of at least 5 videos where I've made mistakes. The biggest one and the biggest embarrassment for me was the Grime 90, the Grime Air Max 90s. Now, when I saw that it was some underground radio thing, I'm not from London. We didn't have your underground grime thing. We had grime here, and it wasn't the same. It was like very different when I was coming up. So when I was researching this like pirate radio, it brought up the fucking boat shit. So I did this video having researched the 60s pirate radio
on the boat.
and fucking ripped. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I had a contemplative moment of I fucked it. And like, I'll be honest with you, there was a few comments which were just ripping me, and I was getting angry and angry. I was at work, and I was like, my phone is just buzzing. But then like what Erkin said, like there was people that weren't even subscribers that are now subscribers, and I see them regularly. They've come in and been like, nah, listen, if he's not from here and he's not from that era, like pirate radio was what, early 90s? I'm 96.
Bruv, listen, I think you have to, it's we used to get a tape recorder. Let's leave it at that, innit?
I watched
Top 40, stop play.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely I watched the boat that came a rocking or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Pirate radio, and I was like, I'm going into this shit prepared. And I did like a recant on the second grime because obviously there was a white one, then there was a blue, and like there's a Union Jack one. So I did on the recant. Like, if anything though, like I feel like it showed strength of character, coming back and being like, listen, yeah, I made a gaff. It is what it is. I owned it, but kind of like touching back on the thing about like not every shoe is made for everyone. And I did some space hippies, and they're kind of centered, like not necessarily to be rude to anybody, to friends of the world, hippie people, but also like exercise people, as you can tell with this physique. Man's not about that exercising life too much. So it was a completely wrong audience for me to be preparing this video from, because I trashed them. I was like, these are shit. These are awful on feet. They feel horrible. They feel awful. And that's my most disliked video. I mean, Erkin must be a fan of Space Hippies because he's gone.
He's gone, mate. He's gone.
But yeah, that was
a good point.
That was kind of the situation. Like, you know, you do have to be thick-skinned, but you also need to kind of like own your mistakes. Like, listen, yeah, I get far too deep into this. Like, it keeps me up at night. This lighting, I haven't slept for 2 weeks. I've been 3 hours of sleep at night, and I'm constantly. I've tried. I listen. Yeah, I am a lighting professional now. I can tell you every single, you know, different lighting variation and all the, you know, the Kelvins and all the little different tricks you can do. And at the core of it, I'm white as shit.
You know what? You should have just done, mate, like I do. Just get a softbox of professional photographer's light, and it comes with a big filter around it, and that's look, he's got a softbox light now.
Bear with me.
Yeah, okay. Well, while we're waiting, because he's going to do that, Pat, I want you to do something for me because you're always having a go at him. Can you ask Reggie's 2 questions to Erkin? Because he, you know, you can do it in his voice if you really want to. But I just got to ask 2 things.
You know what, right? I'm going to do it because he's not here.
He's going to love it. He's going to love it. This has got to be like part of it.
I'm not doing it American because I ain't doing it yet. 2 questions. 1, do you like New Balance? And 2, do you own a pair? Bruv, you can cuss them if you want.
Pat, you're a bully to Reggie, man. I swear. Not that bad. Like, I get it. Yeah, they're so comfortable. I do like them. Yeah, but they're just not for me. I can't. I don't own a pair. I can't pull them off, but I appreciate them. Let's just say that I appreciate them.
There we go. He's had his little bit. He's had his moment.
No. Listen, do you know what? And this is my thing, yeah, but Reggie tries to make it into something. Yeah?
Reggie's the spokesperson, mate. How are you going to expect any different?
Reggie's getting paid and he don't even know he's getting paid. That's how much he's into New Balance, right? I'm just saying, for me, they're not the most attractive trainers. I wouldn't know what to wear them, how to wear them. And like, they probably are the most comfortable thing. I remember when Yeezys first come out. Remember the 350s?
Mm-hmm.
When they first come out, you're like, what are you buy? They're like a cloth with a sewing in the middle.
That I call
around your foot.
Easy sandals.
Do you know what I mean? And like people are cussing them. But then when there's people started wearing them, going, no, you need to put your foot in these. These are one of the most comfortable things you're going to wear. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, you know, so I can get it. I get it that New Balance might have something, but it's New Balance, bruv, man. They're just...
Unfortunately, Pat,
for me,
if
man,
you
innit?
wear them, I'm not even going to lie to you, and this is no offense to you, but if you wore them, you could rock them. People would just go, yeah, he's wearing New Balance.
Yeah,
You'd
but I
suit
feel
them.
like I need to have like a Ralph Lauren shirt, button-down shirt, tucked into jeans,
You're acting like
Levi's,
you haven't got that.
501s, 501s, yeah, with a brown belt, yeah, and straight jeans.
You've thought about this far
Then
too
I can wear
much.
them.
You've got your whole fit ready.
Listen, it's that dullage look, isn't it? You know what I mean?
1980s, worn by Brooklyn drug dealers, mate.
Right. Well, yeah, well, I work from Brooklyn, innit? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but you know, there's a pair I like, but like I said to you, I don't even know how you remember them because they're all numbers, innit? It's like they were cheap. They didn't want to pattern the name. So they went, well, you don't have to pattern numbers, so we just call them 925 24s. And you know what I mean? You're like, how are you supposed to keep up with that? What you got on there? 9254s? I don't know. I got an N. I got an N on it. It's an N in yellow.
550 nice. Them basketball 550s. I think they're genuinely the best of what New Balance have got. Like, and also you got like I respect that they do hype releases, but they've also got GRs. So if you miss the hype, you can go for the GR. Like I feel like if Jordan did that a little bit more, so like I find it funny, and I started to notice this with like Jordan Brand and Yeezy as well. What they'll do is they'll release a hype shoe like the Fragment, and then next week we'll get something like a Jordan 3. And it was the same with there was the Oreo 4s. The week after the Oreo 4s came out, the Jordan 3 Racer Blues came out. I didn't get the Jordan 4s, but guess what? I definitely got the Jordan 3s. So they do that. They load it's a loaded gun in it. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you missed it. Guess what?
Let's be honest, yeah. Like I said, I've said it in the past. There was never a point that I can remember where a whole set of Jordans were outsold, like Jordan 1s. Now it's like any color Jordan 1s are being sold out. It's never been like that. You were able to just go and collect. The only thing that ever stopped you is they run out of your size. That was the only thing. Do you know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, there was some where you go, all right, like they, you know, when they first released, like it'd be a new silhouette, like the Jordan 3s or the Jordan 4s. It'd be a new silhouette. Yeah, it's gonna go. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna go. I get that. But then they'll release another color of them. They would sit for a bit. Dunks never sold out. Dunks never sold out. Do you know what I mean? From my memory, do you know what I mean? I mean, I could be wrong, but I never had problems getting Nike. But now it's like, boy, everything's taking the L. Everything's emotional now. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. It's mad.
So I think that kind of leads well into basically in preparation for this, I've been doing a lot of like, because Pat normally holds it down really well with the questions, as does Ash, and me and Reg kind of sit back and just float in and out. But before like this, I was coming up with
Glad you recognise that.
And yeah, and like I didn't want to come into this with like literally written questions. So, well, preparation for doing this, I wanted to ask Erkin his opinion on like the sneaker culture in the UK. Like recently, we've definitely seen a complete shift. So like, I remember the days of the TN was king and the 95s or the 110s in Pat's case was king. Like, but like in the last 3 years, like we've seen Offspring doing what they're doing. We see Kick Game doing what they're doing. You know, the British version of Complex. So in a way, like the whole sneaker shift from the UK has kind of, I feel like we've kind of lost a little bit of something, and we've borrowed something from somewhere else. So I kind of wanted to get your opinion on how you feel things are going and how you think things are gonna end up. Like, where do you see us in another 3 years' time?
That's a bloody good question, man.
A loaded question, that innit? It's a loaded.
Killing you,
Good,
man.
I like it.
Killing
I like
you.
it.
You know what? I think in the UK, we have like a very unique taste, yeah. But recently, I say the past, 5 years, Jordans have just flooded the UK. Like, it was never as big as it is now. Do you know what I mean? It was always Air Max, Dunks, because I had a pair of Dunks in like primary school. I remember those. But even Dunks weren't as big, yeah. So it was like Air Max, Blazers. You get like Vans, that sort of stuff. So it was relatively less hype. It was just you wear what you like. You know what I mean? Air Max 90s for me have always been my favorite Air Max. So all my mates had like Air Maxes from TNs, like you said. So the only thing was the TNs had like a reputation. Do you know what I mean? Like the Air Max 95s, like you know who you're dealing with if they're wearing those, isn't it? Yeah.
The reason I wanted it, it's the reason I bloody wanted some.
It's like gangster shoe, man, gangster shoe. But I think in the UK, I accept we have to sort of borrow from American culture, like kick game. That's amazing. Like I've seen a few sort of influencers or like celebs go there and do all that, but it's just reselling. It's just like glorified. Do you know what I mean? But it's obviously with Complex, they get like the bigger names, the celebrities and that sort of stuff. I think like in the UK, we need more events to bring everyone together. Like we've got the Crep City, I think, coming up in August. Obviously with COVID, it's sort of put a slow, it slowed it down a lot because I think the sneaker culture over COVID in the UK especially really boomed. I think, yeah, man, I think we need more events, things like that, to sort of bring everyone together. And I think we need a lot more YouTubers, man. So you guys, and this podcast especially, you guys on YouTube, obviously Spotify, that sort of stuff. We need a lot more of this, man. A lot more. It's just influence as well, man. Like people, like you guys used to watch me, but I was just doing it because I watched Seth or someone else. So like that cycle will just continue to grow, like that snowball effect. Do you know what I mean? People are gonna be watching you from the UK thinking, oh, he's from up north. I'm from up north. Why don't I start something? Yeah. So I think we're going in a good direction. It's just gonna take a lot longer than it should, to be fair. Like maybe next 3 to 6 years, like you said, man.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect answer, to be honest, is I mean, I'm hopeful that we can go in that direction. Like I say, for me, I'm still new to this, and like I'm still adapting my taste. Like my taste is ever flowing, and like I don't want to ever pen myself into being that guy I'm a Jordan 6 guy, I'm a LeBron guy, I'm a Air Max guy. I grew up, like I say it's pretty much every podcast, because to be fair, like I kind of want to get back to that. Like when I was growing up, I had Reebok Classics, and I loved Reebok Classics, and they weren't hype, they weren't cool. I got trashed by my friends. I loved Reebok Classics. I still love the OG Reebok Classics. Like the leather was brilliant. And then as I gradually got older, I got my first pair of 90s, and then the 90s became the thing for me, and then Air Forces and so on and so forth. Like, so I don't ever want to be that guy that's like, oh, that's the Jordan 3 guy. Like, I don't ever want to be that. So like, if I want to change with the times, but fashion is constantly evolving it. You know, as I get older, will I still want this shoe collection? Maybe not. Maybe I want to go then to New Balance. Maybe then I want to go to Puma Suedes. Maybe then I want to, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at like my favorite, well, some of my bigger influences. Do you remember like when 50 Cent had his deal with Reebok when he was doing the game?
Yeah. They had all the G Unit stuff.
Yeah, the G Unit.
Unit.
There was the.
I won't do that again. I apologize.
G Unit.
One of Unit shoes as a 25-year-old adult male. Do you know what I mean? Could you imagine that look?
Spinners on them and stuff.
Yeah, like constant, like, or wearing the baggy jeans that you saw in the early 2000s. Like, so I feel like for me, as long as we keep evolving and we keep having an open mind, because I feel like more so for, like in the last couple of years, I feel like there's been an attitude shift in a long way. Like where if you're outside of the frame, you're not part of the picture. And like I didn't like that. That's what I don't like about Offspring. And I don't, you know, I'm not asking Erkin to comment on it because of whatever, you know, you don't have to. But like I'm vocal about Offspring, and recently as well with their whole community thing. I love what people are doing. There have been some genuinely wicked community posts. Like I saw one guy doing like a basketball thing where he's going against himself. Then I saw like people are genuinely very creative, and it gives them a medium to be creative in. So I respect that about them. But it's then what follows where, you know, they put the stories up and other people are sharing the story, so I have to see it, and it's like, oh, you know, just a bunch of sour grapes, blah blah blah. But like, nah, it's not just a bunch of sour grapes. People just don't want to get involved, so you're making them feel like they have to. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like Offspring are very they're impacting us in such a negative way. And so, like, there's a lot of great stuff to do. I'm not gonna lie and act like they're the worst company to ever exist. They do it, like I say, this competition where people are being creative, brilliant, you know. But in the past, like they're very much part of their own tight knit community. And if you're not part of that, you're just not part of it, and they just don't let you in. Like you know, and they're not very inclusive to other people as well. Like they'll do certain competitions where not everybody can get involved, like the Bacons. Like, remember about the Bacons? You know, like people say, oh, you can use like the turkey bacon stuff, but like, you know, like you shouldn't have to be like, if you're Muslim and you can't get involved in that and you feel like you can't be part of that, it's like, it is what it is. Like Offspring need to really think, because I think if Offspring genuinely change their direction, they could be the biggest thing in the UK, 100%. If they actually become for the people like they claim to be, I'd get on board with it. I genuinely would. And I think a lot of people would as well. But my whole stance on the UK scene is, yeah, let's get more events going. Let's get more people talking about the shoes they love, whether they've got an audience to talk to or not. More podcasts, you know, more sneaker shops, more sneaker things, everything possible. I mean, like, if it wasn't for sneaker YouTube, I wouldn't know any of you guys right now. And I swear down, I talk to most of you at least once or twice a week.
Yeah,
so I talk to you guys more than my actual friends sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are part of a community that I can get involved in. So I respect it a lot. And like this, being able to talk to you guys now, it's a blessing.
I think we're always sort of behind America because they've got like that basketball culture behind them. So they've all obviously had the Jordans, LeBrons, all that stuff. Whereas in the UK, the closest thing we had was like the total 90s. Like I remember rocking those AstroTurfs.
Yeah.
I thought I was the man, but you'll never get a cool football shoe or soccer shoe, whoever's watching this, to be as cool as a Jordan 1. Whether it's like Ronaldo promoting it or whatever, because it won't have that same impact. Do you know what I mean? It's not got that sort of history behind.
I'm just gonna jump in with Predator.
Predator was Predator was the shit back. Issues. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to get it in there. Stevie's, man, Stevie's.
The thing is, I think because we are in the UK, we're not loyal to basketball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So if America sent over, like, all of a sudden there'd be a start, say like Patrick Ewing's. You know, I mean, we're talking old school now. I remember they came in and we didn't even know who Patrick Ewing was. You know, but he had his own basketball boot, and it was a red and a blue one. It had a basketball on the side and things like that. And then all of a sudden, you know, you had like Jordans, but you couldn't get Jordans. Do you know what I mean? At some point, you couldn't get them. They were like, I remember my friend having the first 5 red Jordans, and he was the only one where I lived in Southeast London who had those because his mum went to America.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then they released them later on, and you know, so. But with football, we've always had football. So we're kind of eclectic when it comes to trainers, if you see what I mean. So it's like, yeah, you know, if you're into football, you had the Predators, you know, when they first come out, and you could first ever write your name on the side of them. You just go to soccer scene and they'll laser your feet to get your boots on and whatever. So the next thing you know, you'd have the Predators and the AstroTurf ones where you could go out and like, yeah, I'm rocking my Predators. You know what I mean? And right, I'm the man now. Do you know what I mean? And then you'd go into night release, so one with an air bubble. You're like, oh my God, this is a whole different ball game now, you know? But these are ones you can't kick ball in because they will rip. Do you know what I mean? They're not football trainers. So no one can step on your trainers now. Do you know what I mean? It's not that kind of thing. So I think for us, it's always going to be that thing where it has to be a UK thing. I think we have to be like, I think Aidan said, man, everyone's going to be new to this. We were new to it at one point. Do you know what I mean? And like you said with Offspring, sometimes I've seen some things what they do and I think, oh, that's a bit out of order, because now you're saying that you're not good enough to have those trainers with us. You're not allowed. And you're like,
Pool club that you can't get into unless
Yeah.
you're
right, right.
I'll have my say, yeah, because I know Aiden wants me to have
Yes.
my.
Here.
I get what they're doing. I appreciate what they're doing, but I think it's just the way they're doing it, man. Like, there's no chance you're getting a raffle with them unless you have one of the trainers you're trying to get a raffle for, like a Jordan. Like, I don't have any. Like, I've got a Jordan 1. That's the only Jordans in my collection, yeah. So imagine there's a Jordan 3 raffle. Take a picture of your Jordan 3 collection. That's how you enter. So what do I do then? Do you know what I mean? It's stuff like that that rattles me. So for me, you just sort of have to distance yourself from that. I do buy off them still, but I only go for the GRs or the restocks. I don't even bother with the raffles because I'm not trying to be. Because imagine someone who doesn't have a Jordan, whatever you're entering for, like me, and you don't have that strong mind, yeah. You're going to be like, oh, so I'm not good enough because I don't have these trainers. I can't enter and be a part of it. So what does that do to our culture, the UK culture then? You know what I mean? It's going to stop before it starts when it's got things like that going on.
Yeah.
So I get frustration and a lot of people's frustration with it, man. I do.
But this is what I'm saying. It's one of those ones, you know, listen, I love when someone comes new and think, oh, I'm not, like my boy's got a YouTube channel, yeah, and he does completely different from me. Nothing to do. I've had him on my channel, and he is not a sneakerhead. You know what I mean? I show him things, and he thinks they're shit. He'll tell me, no, I didn't. Did you buy them? He asks that question, really. You know what I mean? But I've had some people come on my channel. Go, I'm not into sneakers, but where do I get those? Or what is a nice sneaker for someone who doesn't really want to, you know, just an alternative shoe? Do you know what I mean? I say, listen, there's so much to you. I just go on the website. I'll tell you what we do. You go and find something you like. Send me a picture and I'll see if I've had them or I know someone who's had them and give you a review, just give you a rundown before you order it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. But I love that because that could be his first sneaker. But if you're like Offspring, oh my God, he goes to Offspring and goes, I really like those. And Offspring turn around and go, actually, you can't get them because you've never had them before. It's wrong.
There's no training wheels to buying shoes. Like,
no, it's wrong. It's wrong. Yeah. And I think, like you said, Aiden, they could be. I remember Offspring were nothing. I remember Offspring were just a little nothing, like a Camden shop. You know what I mean? You wouldn't really know about them. Then they started opening little things, whatever. So for them to go there and try and limit people, I'm like, wow, it's just wrong, man. You should listen. If he walks in, he's been wearing DMs all his life. He should be able to come in and buy a pair of ZX2K and realize that DMs are really hard on your feet. Do you know what I mean? He should be allowed to do that. It shouldn't matter if it's an Adidas or a Nike or, do you know what I mean? It could be a Diadora if that's his style. It could even be New Balance if that's his style. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, these gatekeepers, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, we all came in at some point. We weren't born with sneakers on. We weren't born. We all came in at some point. You know what I mean? And we've all had bad trainers. We've all bought them ones where you don't really want to tell people you had. Do you know what I mean?
Rollers, isn't it?
that's it, man. I mean, it's like for me, like when I first started getting shoes, like obviously I say this every week because, you know, there's a lot of people out there like me. I had kids young and I couldn't afford to buy trainers. Like I've never said this before, but like the first pair of basketball shoes I ever got, my sister bought me. We went to Foot Asylum and I saw the up-tempos, the white and reds, like 2018, 2017. And I was like, bro, they're sick. And she bought them for me. And like that's really when the love at first started. And then I was wearing Team Jordans and I loved them. You know, the Spiz Ikes and like all those kind of things. And like, you know, I've gradually built a collection but I think Erkin touched on something really important. Like, if you're not strong-minded or if you're not confident in yourself, but going into it, and then you see something like this, because like Instagram has created this whole culture of pretending to live a life you don't actually live. Like, it's all well and good taking these really great shots of your shoes and you're looking dead good and all that. Like, but in reality, like you're taking a snapshot in a like it's in a completely isolated scenario, like perfect skin, perfect clothing, everything's perfect. Like that's not life. Like I don't even bother with all that, to be honest. Like when I'm on my Instagram, on my Aiden standing, I am me. I am wearing baggy tees and creased tees, and I'm wearing my kicks, and I'm with my kids, and then my ACS sneakers, that's for thumbnails. That is literally a platform for me to say, guys, if you're not on YouTube now, let's get on YouTube, let's watch it together. Because I do that. I like to do mine as premieres, so I can be like, oh, what's good? I would, you know, you enjoying the weathers, work good, you know, running out. Like there's names that will pop up in the chat all the time, and like I feel like I'm aiming to build a community myself, because like, listen, there's 100, like something Ash said, there's single mothers out there that don't know what boys' shoes are. So maybe we should start doing, you know, these. It's like I've got loads of kids' shoes. Like my little lad got the Converse Space Jams, back on the Space Jam vibe because they're sick. Like he literally
Good
said to me,
segue. Good segue.
like, Daddy, can we do the review? And I was like, I ain't got time at the minute because I'm back in the office. But I was like, yeah, we'll do it this weekend. So like, I will be kind of but he wants to come in and do it now. Like,
Amazing.
But if Offspring said to him, like, listen, if he gets to 15 and he wants to go and enter an Offspring raffle for a Jordan 3, because I've got loads of Jordan 3s, or a few, I should say, not a lot, just a few. And they say, oh, you can't enter, you've never had any pairs. But it's like, but my dad wore them, my dad loves them, so why can't I have a pair? Like, it's just so anti-productive to the whole scene. And like we had Shay on, and obviously I wasn't part of it, but listening to it back and hearing her experience of people, like, listen, it's shoes, man. It's just not that deep. It's just not. People get so in the feelings. Like, it's just not that deep. If you don't get it, don't be like, it hurts, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, crack on with your day, man. Like 8 o'clock in the morning, you don't get the shoe. Right, go have some fucking cereal, whack He-Man on, chill out, and go do some other things with the rest of your day. At the end of the day, as nice as these kicks are, listen, I speak to people all the time. One of my favorite YouTubers is selling his entire collection. What does that tell you? It's fleeting. It's just, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting drawn into something that's kind of depressing, so I'm going to move on. But
Erkin, you're selling your whole collection, mate. What's going on?
We actually had this conversation, didn't we, about like your collection? Because I was like genuinely curious, and I think you mentioned it in your QA video. Do you know where we talked about the odd time you'll send shoes back, and it's part of the business model. I was a little bit embarrassed to admit that, because I do that. I don't know if Pat does that. I buy.
Sorry, I didn't hear. What did you say?
Do you, like, when you're doing your reviews? Have you ever bought a shoe and then with the intention to either sell it or return it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I was genuinely like embarrassed to say that, because like when you think of like you see all these big ass collections, like the collection videos, like Tony D2 Wild did 500 plus pairs, and I was like, I've got 30. But then in reality, I've got 30 bloody pairs of shoes. Like, you know what I mean? So I really respect.
You got to remember, you got to think of it. When you're younger, yeah, you only got shoes if they're a mash up,
yeah,
or you grew out of them.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And then you had
now you've got 30, you're greedy.
Yeah.
And so
you had all those Jordans. You know, I saw your collection. It was wild. You had the Tinkers, you had the Jordan 1s, the Off-Whites. Yeah. I mean, you used to send me pictures, and I used to get jealous.
They're all gone. This is the thing. They're all gone. There comes to parts of your life. Obviously, I won't go into what happened with me, but like there comes to parts of your life where they are shoes. Don't get me wrong. I'm a sneakerhead. I love my shoes, but I also change my taste constantly. One minute I love Jordans. You know, I had them before, say, The Last Dance and everything was a big thing. And all of a sudden, you know, I get older, I have, you know, you get back problems or whatever. So I go to something a bit more comfortable. And then as it goes on, like I work for Adidas. So I wear Adidas to work. You know, am I going to go for, you know, like the lifestyle shoe? No, my back still hurts. I'm going to go for something which is comfort driven, you know, like an NMD or an Ultra Boost or something, because it's still comfortable for me. I'm on my feet for 10 hours a day. So they may not be the biggest hype, but they are still a sneaker. I'm still wearing that sneaker, which is good for me. I don't wear my shoes for everybody else, you know? That's the thing. I appreciate that if I wanted to know a bit more information, even if I worked for a brand, if I wanted more information about a different brand shoe or something that even is within brand, and I haven't got all the information relevant, or how does it fit instead of me, like I haven't got it in yet or whatever. How does it fit, like for people who can get it 2-3 weeks in advance? You know, I can find that out because people like you guys all do it. And you know, like for me as a kind of as a viewer more than anything, I think especially with the UK market, I think we connect more with each other. You know, yeah, it's great. I can hear an American, I can see them get all hyped and excited, take me to all these places that I can't even go to unless I'm going to spend $3,000 on a plane ticket plus then baggage and everything because I'm going to have to buy them all abroad and try and bring them over and everything. I want a UK YouTuber.
But I mean, this is what I was saying before. I mean, before we came on, I was saying to Erkin, when I found you, bruv, it was like finding a needle in a haystack. And you know what? And the way you was talking, I was like, yeah, it's a level. Do you know what I mean? You're not preaching to me what it is and doing the dull and whatever. You're just talking like you would talk to me if I was in front of you. You know what I mean? And like, and it's weird because like I would watch YouTube, but I never subscribed to YouTube. Not that I never subscribed to it. I mean, I never commented or nothing like that. But with you, I was like, bro, I have to comment. I have to comment because, you know what I mean? And it's funny, I still find it, even though I do YouTube and I respond to people and I like people commenting, I find it not difficult, but I hesitate before I comment or ask a question, you know? But what I'd want to say is when I have, it's been nothing but love. Do you know what I mean? So like for people watching this now, all of us on here, if you want to ask questions because it's just, it is love. There's no hate. No one's gonna call you stupid. No one's gonna, and I found that weird. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm used to interaction face to face. I'm not a comment on Insta and things like that, you know. Right, it may sound like I'm just stalking people, innit? I'm just looking at them, but no. But but I never knew you could interact with people like that. Do you know what I mean? Me and Aid started talking, and that's how we got talking. When am I ever going to meet a brother from Preston? Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no city sites in Preston. Not cussing Preston. I'm just saying.
Our greatest invention is Andrew Flintoff. You know, thank you, Andrew.
There you go. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's nice. I mean, this is what I want to say to you, Erkin. How did you, when you started your channel, did you expect it to go as big as it has? And let's be honest, like, I mean, there's people out there doing bits, but you're doing bits, bro. Do you know what I mean? And I know you probably accept that and whatever, but from what your UK YouTuber doing bits on what could be dominated as a US domination of YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So how did you feel?
I think, do you know what? I've been doing YouTube since 2013, yeah. So
Right.
when I had to rebrand, redirect in every sort of way possible to get to this stage, thankfully, thank God I am in now. It's crazy because obviously, like I said, I used to do fitness and bloody challenges and all that chili challenge and all that nonsense. You know what I mean? Just to get that viral video. But I think as you get older, the less you want to be viral. You just want to mean something to some niche sort of sector or a certain type of people. And it's like, I don't value myself less or more based on what people think. Do you know what I mean? So I think the moment you start to think about that and you're just yourself, people gravitate to you because then you're real, you're relatable. Like I've said, it's sort of like that. But I think a lot of people get in that sort of that trap where they're trying to emulate what others have done and they end up literally just sort of copycatting it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why am I watching you when he does it better or he does the same thing but with better production or more followers or the releases come quicker? Like, so I'm just like, bro, I'm not trying to be this guy. I'm trying to be that guy, like as in myself. And if people come, they come. Like it's one of those things. So always stay true to sort of like what you're trying to get out of YouTube or influencing or like Instagram, stuff like that. Like, what's your mission? Like, what are you trying to achieve? Because when you come into it sort of like just doing it because others are doing it, I think there's no real like conviction there in that sense.
And it comes across, doesn't it? It will come across. People will see you. They'll see it's fake, in a sense.
Yeah, like to be fair, he's not here now, but we do it near enough every week. Reggie is probably one of the hardest working guys I see, and that's nothing against any of you guys, but he uploads every day. Like, to get through his videos starting now, and he started about 6 months ago, he's probably done more videos than probably you three nearly combined. You know, he does. He uploads every day. But I think he just does it because that's his little time. He gets to sit there. He gets to talk about what he wants to talk about and everything. And he's a genuinely, like, the only reason Reggie's even on it is because I was looking for a certain shoe nobody was talking about, and it was a New Balance, and only
I knew it was New Balance.
Yeah. But only he had a video. And, you know, I was like, well, he's like the niche there, because he's the only video I could find for that certain shoe. I watched him and I was like, oh, this guy's funny. Like, this guy is so energetic about stuff. And then I watched like 10, 15 more of his videos. I was commenting on them and everything. And then he commented to me and he was just like, oh yeah, he gave me a massive shout out and everything. And I was like, who am I? Like, he's a guy who's putting up a video and he's shouting me out on his channel. And that means, like, to somebody who's just like watching somebody, that means like more, you know? And like, when you guys all shout out your followers and like, thanks for coming and watching and everything like that, that's the biggest thing that, like, me as a kind of viewer, like, takes so much takes it away from, you know, like, that's the proudest thing, is being, that's why you subscribe, because you get that thanks. You know, I don't want somebody who's going to go, oh yeah, this is see you later. It's like, oh, bollocks to you then. I ain't watching you again, because you can't be asked. Like, you've just wasted 10 minutes of my life then. For the person who genuinely sits there and goes, thank you so much for watching. If you want to, you know, it's not even a forced thing. If you want to subscribe, like, do that bell notification, all that stuff, I appreciate it. You know, it's like, oh, okay, you're invested in me. You've given, you know, I've spent my time doing it, but you're also, you're not begging. You're just asking. 9 times out of 10, if you're asked to do something, people will do it. If you get told to, like, make sure you do that now. It's like, bollocks to you. I ain't even watching you ever again. Fuck off.
True, it's true. I mean, I mean, it's all about like how you come across that, and I genuinely feel like sometimes like I'm a little bit dull, and that might be the case. I'm a little bit of a dull guy, but like I love what Reggie does in particular, and I've said it to him multiple times, like, because it could be quite disheartening, because I've seen videos that he's uploaded that have not necessarily had the views that I feel like the video quality should reflect. And like, he just still does it, and I respect it, because there's been, I think all of us will have gone through a period on our YouTube channels where we're like, have we kind of reached the end of the road? Like, is this as good as it's gonna get? And like, I've constantly had to ask myself the question of like, is it worth it? Because the work-life balance, especially when you've got kids as well, it's really difficult. Like, obviously, like, you know, if you try to manage and make the best of the situation, so like, it is definitely eye-opening. But it's when you see those recurring guys coming back, and those regular people coming back, and like, I can, you know, Ash, that's how we met. Ash was always in the premiere, and I like, if Ash wasn't there, I'd be concerned. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, where's Ash? I'd be, you know,
send me messages. Are you all right, mate?
Yeah,
oh, shit, I missed it.
That's it. And it's just like, that's genuinely been the best thing, like, about me doing this, because like, obviously through COVID, it, you know, a lot of us were kind of segregated, was all stuck at home and whatever. But I feel like I've built more friendships, like, because it's hard to make friends as adults, let's be honest. You know what I mean? You're not going to go to a randomer at the bank and be like, want to be mates? You know what I mean? But like, you guys are regular people that I chat to all the time. We get on really well. And it's like, you know, I have my friends from school, like the 2 that I have left from school. You know what I mean? A few kids, you know, a few mates from high school, but and primary school, whatever. But like, doing this has really been good. And I feel like anybody that's listening to this now that's kind of been on the fence and wants to give it a go, just give it a go. Listen, you could, if you do a video with your phone, if you do a video with a camera, it doesn't make any difference. Just be yourself, because like, my first few videos were, oh mate, honestly, I had the worst voice and accent. I was trying to sound like I wasn't me. Like, if you come into my videos now, people take the piss out of how I say, oh, what is it? I think it's there's a word I say, and I say it on a lot of videos, and they're like, they just rip me to shreds because I'm Northern. It sounds leather or some shit. I don't know, some word, and they're always trashing me for it or whatever.
YouTube's the best for the
Oh yeah,
captions, mate. Oh my god, closed
Oh,
captions on every video. Watch it with especially with Aiden, because some of the things I can't watch a video now without closed captions on. I'm just like, oh mate, YouTube got it so wrong.
yeah. You were sending me through, and it's just like I feel like just for anybody who's listening, like give it a go. Like the podcast was an idea that Ash had. You know, he went. You know, he came to Reggie, myself, and then we got other guests involved. We got Pat involved, and now Erkin, and like now we're talking to Erkin. We're talking to people like the likes of Life. Obviously Life of A Broski, but like Jumping Back Chris and Shay and all these different people. So if anybody is listening, anybody takes anything away from this, like, listen, give it a go. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. But like, that's for me. If I ever get to a point where like, listen, I'm not enjoying this shit no more, I'm gonna just go on a video and be like, listen, it's been a good run. Thanks for supporting. I'm done. I'm never gonna let this be, oh, I have to do a video tonight. Oh, I can't be bothered editing tonight. Like, listen, I get lazy, don't get me wrong, but like, if it ever comes to a point where I just don't want to do it anymore, I'm just not going to do it anymore. It's as simple as that. So that's my kind of giveaway, like my takeaway from this whole thing is just do it because it's fun, innit? And it is. Trainers are fun. Shoes are fun.
It's amazing. And we'll just do that to close up then. That's a great point. But
So I've got one more question.
go on, Pat.
It's to you. Of course, it's to our guest, isn't it?
Always.
What has been your GOAT this year? What have you bought and you thought this is the one?
You know what? It's not something I bought. I was gifted to by Nike. Yeah. It was the Dusty Olives, the Dunks.
Yes.
The low.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen them.
I'll show you. Other.
He's got them. For the people that are listening, we're about to see them. So get on over to the YouTube.
He posted these on his. I remember I saw them.
Yeah, I remember them. I remember them.
You can rock them with anything.
They're nice. I'm not even a dunk man, but they were nice. I remember seeing that. I was like, yeah, they're different, man.
Are they part of like the ceramic pack? Are they linked to the ceramics at all? Then
They said it was not Nike officially, but there's all these blogs that were saying that it's a part of the Ugly Duckling pack and this and that. But I don't think Nike have actually come out and said that. It's just it resembles the other, like the veneers and that so much. Do you know what I mean? But to be fair, that's probably the one I've been like, wow. Like,
yeah.
We've had the medium curries as well. I had to sell those because I was like, they're just going to get dirty as soon as I step out of the house. There's no chance. So I'd say those. Yeah. The
Okay,
Dusty.
cool.
What about you?
Me,
Dior B52.
let that go, bro. I told you, I didn't drop the bag on them. I can't.
New Balance 990s. He loves them.
I'll have to come back to you. Let me come back to you on that one. I didn't even think about it myself. You're
Aiden's
not supposed to
gonna
ask
bring
me questions, bro.
Space Jam Crocs.
I mean, I've had a fruitful year. I definitely had, like, this year has been like transformative of my sneaker collection. Like last year I was buying anything and everything and just keeping it just because I could. And then I kind of got to a point like where I was getting ridiculously like with shoes that I was looking back. Like I thought I needed the fives, like, and I'm looking at them like, what was wrong with me? And like, there were so many shoes I've sold recently, and I've completely revamped my collection to shoes I'm actually going to wear and actually going to like. So on that note, for me, it is going to be, I'll get them out because they're my babies. I wore these when Ellie, my daughter, was born. Black Cement 3s. I was chasing these down since 2018. I've only worn them once, but they're like my babies, man. Like, these are beautiful. But like, yeah, I was gonna do a top 10 video, but I'm saving it because there's still plenty more kicks to come out this year. Like, but yeah, if I like, spoiler alert, anybody who checks that video in December, it's still gonna be these number one pickups. Spoiler alert, don't watch the video, it's not worth your time.
Unsubscribe.
Better be careful. But
I remember mine now. It was it's kind of a GOAT for me because it is the first Air Max 90s I ever had. So it's the Air Max 90 infrareds. They released them again this year, and I managed to get them. Those. Do you know, right? Let me tell you a story, right? I remember, right? I took my mum to Foot Locker, Oxford Street, right? And it's still there now. It's a small Foot Locker. You know the one when you're going towards Tottenham Court Road, right?
Yeah.
It's a small, just it's like a corridor. And I took my mum there, and they were £50, right? And my mum was like, £50 on your feet? Are you crazy? I was like, Mum, I will die if I don't get these. Yeah. And I remember that as the time, and I looked at my mum and went, "You're the queen, man." And she brought me those. I wanted to rock them there and then. I didn't want the box. I was like, "Can I put them on now?" You know, you're like, "No, all right, can we go home?" No, 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 we're going to your aunt's. Do you know how long it took me to get home that day after I traded? I went to my aunt's, I went to my grand's. I got these trays in my hand. I can't put them on. Oh man. And then I killed them, mashed them up, popped the bubble, everything. I wore them till they was ripping off of me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so those are my goats. I picked up my goats. That's what I've done this year. You know what I mean?
Ash, finish yours.
Me. Oh.
He had so many, he just doesn't know.
Yeah. You've had a heavy year, Ash. We've seen your collection coming through.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really weird.
It's New Balance. I can feel it.
It's not a New Balance. It's not a New
I feel
Balance.
like it's sevens. I feel like it's going to be the sevens.
I did.
Can't be the sevens.
No, the 7 flints are really nice. But you know what? It's going to be completely out there, and it's something that it's not even a shoe that I'm wearing, but it's a shoe that I've picked up. So it's the Superstar 50. It's the 50th anniversary of the Run DMCs, but for my son.
Yes.
For my son, I got him in a really small size, and I've got the same pair. So I'm waiting and just till his feet grow a little bit bigger, and we're gonna rock them. You know, dad and son pick, and I can't wait. So for me, yeah, Superstar. It's the 50th anniversary, the Run DMC tribute ones, and that for me is probably it's a shoe that I would have picked up, but I think it'll mean more because my son's got them as well.
Yeah.
So that's mine, and it's not one that I've actually got on feet. I've not worn yet. It's just sitting there, kind of thing.
It's nice.
Respect it.
So there we go. That'll be the end of this week's podcast. Erkin, amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. Definitely come on again in the future if you want to. I'm sure the people will be calling for it because obviously it's been.
You know
a great
what?
chat.
We've got to do a part 2 because I had questions I need to ask, and he hasn't had the chance to answer them.
And I'm sure Reggie wants to ask you his New Balance one, even though we've already asked it. He'll want to do it himself. That's just how he is. But yeah, if you could just shout out your Instagram, your YouTube, and all those bits again, please, mate.
Yeah, Instagram at Erkin Hassan, ERKINHASSAN. And YouTube is The Life of a Broski. Sneaker reviews, all that sort of stuff. But I want to say thanks for letting me on. Honestly, guys, you're just starting out. Keep the ball rolling, man. The UK needs it, like I'm telling you. And like Aiden said before, if you guys, anyone is trying to start YouTube or just get that thing going on, start. I started off on an iPad mini, man. Do you know what I mean? So whatever you got, just start. That's the main thing. Just start. You learn to grow. You learn the lighting. Aiden, you got this, man. You got the lighting. But guys, thanks a lot for having me. Honestly, we definitely need to do a part 2.
Wicked.
Definitely. I mean, like, this is the first time I've led it. So I'm pretty happy with how things have gone. Although, you know, sorry, Pat, for not letting you get those questions in. But this was one that I was honestly waiting for because obviously, like, I respect a lot of what you do, even though I was a hater to begin with, you know. I saw the light in the end. But honestly, no, I really appreciate you coming on and answering some of these loaded questions. You know, I more than anything else, like these questions were for me as much as they were for the podcast. So I appreciate you answering them as honestly as well, because you could have easily just fobbed them off. So yeah, so if you want to check me out, I don't usually rabbit this much, although I do rabbit quite a bit. Check me out, ACS Sneakers on YouTube. We're on the way to 2,000 subs, so if you guys want to get us there, that'd be appreciated. Also, ACS Sneakers on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, although I don't even know how to log into Snapchat. My missus set it up. I don't know how to set it up. I don't know what my password is.
Sending those dick pics, people.
Nah, I don't do that. I'm like, forget that, right. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, leave the rest. But yeah, like I said, this one was a really good one. I appreciate you coming on, dude.
All right, so yeah, it's Patrick T on YouTube, Patrick T for real on Insta. Hit me up. that's it, really. I've nothing more to add, man. Just love today. Broski, wicked. Thanks. Got to come back.
Amazing. And just to close it off, make sure you're liking, subscribing, commenting, notification and all that. That would be grand if you could. If you don't worry about it. Just listen in on the podcast on Spotify, Apple, sWo podcast. I'm just Ashley Clark, 5 for the S, pretty much. If you want to come on, if you know, a major call out, if you want to come on, especially if you're English, not excluding Americans, but let's get a community. I like it. So let's build a community. You don't have to be massive. You don't have to have 100 million followers or anything. You don't need any followers. If you just want to come on and talk sneakers, that's what we're here for. So from us at the sWo podcast, thank you very much. Peace out. See you later.